Yes.
All right. And are you saying Bianca Aguilar, who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 10408 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, on February 24, 2021 for a term of 4 years? Is that you? All right. And do you plead true to violation of condition number 2 in that motion as well? And state, are you waiving all of the allegations?
We are, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
Did you understand in each cause number by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility, and up to $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2 in each cause number? Then in each cause number, the court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking that you adjudicate the defendant guilty and look for community supervision.
All right, guys, buckle up. This courtroom story starts calmly, but things quickly take an intense turn as the judge begins questioning Bianca about her past charges and probation violations. You can already feel the pressure building as she confirms her identity and admits to violating the conditions of her supervision. The stakes are immediately made clear. Prison time and heavy fines are on the table. This intro sets the tone. This isn't just a routine hearing. Something serious is about to unfold.
Credit for time served in both cases. She has 480 in one case and 478, I believe, in the other, but she also did 9 months in safety.
All right. So, and the cause number ending in 08. Did she pay restitution to Waldo Castro?
I guess not, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, if you just give me one moment.
Sure.
Judge paid amount of $99 for restitution was paid in 08.
Okay. And was there any restitution to Gilbert Ramirez that was due?
Judge, don't have to reference that.
All right. And what has she done on probation?
Your Honor, she was in drug court and she was doing fairly well in drug court. She was a couple of weeks from actually graduating and she relapsed. She completed the dual diagnosis residential facility.
Now the discussion shifts into her probation history, and the details become more revealing. It is revealed that she had actually been doing well in drug court and was only weeks away from graduating before she relapsed. That detail adds a much deeper layer to the situation. This was not someone who had been struggling from the beginning, but someone who had come extremely close to completing the program successfully. The tension begins to build as the judge appears to question how everything could fall apart at the final stage, especially after so much progress had already been made.
You got it? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Yeah.
All right. So what's going on with your life? Why didn't you successfully complete probation?
I got such a response.
Okay, you're going to have to stop whispering. I can't hear.
I went around with wrong people again, but I was doing very well. I was able to maintain a job. I actually still have my job. They put me on a leave of absence for now. I was renting my own house. I still have my house, thank God. But I had a setback. I relapsed.
All right. So there has to be more going on because felony drug court just doesn't kick you out because you relapsed.
I was mixed up with the wrong crowd again, and I'm not.
What does that mean, the wrong crowd?
I went back to the same people that I kind of distanced myself from.
But still, felony drug court, if you get involved with the wrong crowd, and I always tell people, when you say you're involved with the wrong crowd, if those people were before me, they would say, I'm involved with the wrong crowd. And I would ask them, who's the wrong crowd? And
Here's where the emotional layer begins to unfold. Bianca starts explaining her side of the story. She had stability, a job, and a house, but then she describes a setback that changed everything. The judge, however, is not satisfied with the explanation and continues to push for more details. This moment feels like a turning point, where the reasons being given begin to face closer examination. The phrase wrong crowd comes up, and it becomes clear that the conversation is leading toward a much deeper issue.
I was talking to a guy, and I guess the guy that I was talking to, they got word of it. I'm not sure if it was from his ex. I'm not sure exactly how, but they got word of it. They and I know Judge Glenn had kind of like, I guess he already knew his name and everything. He told me not to contact him, but he was staying at my house while I went to the 4-day jail sanction. So when I went to the 4-day jail sanction, I did contact him, and that's when they decided to terminate me.
Well, what do you mean you did contact him? He's living with you.
Yeah, he was living.
Why is he living with you?
He wasn't at the time. He just didn't have anywhere to stay. He was there for about a week, and then my dad ended up going over that weekend when he found out that I was doing the 4-day jail sanction and kicked everybody out of my house. So
here's my question.
This is where the situation takes a sharp turn. Bianca admits that she became involved with a man she barely knew, and despite being warned, she continued to stay in contact with him. The judge begins digging deeper into the details, bringing attention to the risky decisions that were made. The tension rises quickly because the issue is no longer just about relapse. It becomes about judgment, personal choices, and the consequences of ignoring clear instructions that were given.
Right? But I don't understand this thing that women are doing now and men are doing too. But you're female before me, so I'll just say what women are doing now. I don't understand why women are having grown men live in their house. They don't have a job, so they're not bringing anything to the table. All they're doing is taking resources. They take the food because they don't have a job. They send you off to work. They don't clean because they feel like a woman should be doing the cleaning and the cooking, and they bring nothing to the table. I mean, are women so desperate now for men that they're just like, you know what? I know you don't have a job. I know you have no means of supporting yourself and you're a grown man, but come live with me. Is that where we fall into? That we're so desperate to have a man in our life that we would risk going to the state jail facility for 2 years to have a man in our life. And the thing about it is, I know with felony drug court, they probably told you more than one time not to have contact with him.
They told me that weekend because it was that week that they found out about him. I had just known him a couple weeks.
Okay, and here's the other thing. You know somebody for 2 weeks, and next thing you know, they're living with you. You know, that's how children end up getting killed. Let me just tell you, in my experience as a prosecutor and defense attorney, you know what ends up happening? A woman will go out, meet some guy at a club on Friday, and instead of that guy having enough money to take them to a hotel or motel, they just come back to the lady's house and they never leave. I'm like, this is just, I don't understand why people do that. You met some guy that you barely knew, and next thing you know, a complete stranger is living in your house. And in my day, you are the person that they used to do after school specials for. You're just a walking Lifetime movie waiting to be happening. And you know what? Mom and I will sit and watch that Lifetime movie. And you know what we'd say? Oh no, there's no way somebody would let a complete stranger who has no job move in with them. This can't be a true story. And then you know what happens in the Lifetime movie? The screen goes black, and then you got a law named after you. So
now the judge delivers a powerful and intense lecture that becomes the heart of the case. He questions her decisions directly, asking why she allowed a jobless stranger to live with her despite the risks involved. The conversation becomes broader as the judge criticizes the patterns of behavior and the choices that led her back into trouble. This moment carries significant weight because it is no longer just about Bianca's specific situation. It becomes a discussion about the mindset and decisions the judge believes can lead someone down a dangerous path.
Felony drug court. If I were in felony drug court, they would say, Stephanie, we don't want you having contact with John Doe because John Doe is a drug user. John Doe sells drugs. Don't have contact with him. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then they catch me with John Doe. You know what they do? They don't kick me out of drug court. You know what they say? Hey, this is the last time we're going to tell you. We're giving you this amount of time to get John Doe out of your apartment. And if you have issues with John Doe getting out of your apartment that's in your name, here's an attorney for you. They will do the necessary things and tell you what you need to do to have that person removed from your apartment. I know they did that. And I don't think you told them John Doe was living with you. I think you were shocked. They learned he was living with you.
Okay, so I didn't tell them. I did try to lie about it in the beginning, but when I went in to talk to the judge, I already knew what it was about. I didn't know what it was about.
Because you know they found out.
They didn't find out he was living with me, but I let them know that day because I just knew that he pulled up the records. I know how Judge Kim is, and I know they've given me multiple chances, and so they had to tell me that was it. And I understand that I was in there for 3 years, so I know Elsa knew me very well.
And do you have children?
I have 2 children there with their dad.
And you letting this man come in your house just put your children before that man. Were you planning on ever having visitation with your children? And then you know what would have happened? You would have had visitation with your children and that man would have been there, a complete stranger. And children are always depending on their parents to alert them to danger and not bring danger to him. And you know how children sometimes end up getting abused and murdered because parents are letting complete strangers come live with them. And that same guy that you have who's not working, and then he sends you off to work and you leave your children with a complete stranger. That's what happens. All of this because people have, I guess, no self-esteem for themselves or lowering their standards. Let me help you out. At some point, you know what the bare minimum standard you should have if you're getting involved with the guy? Unless he is super wealthy, that person needs to have a job. You don't need to be supporting an adult male. You're not even supporting your children, but you're supporting.
The intensity escalates even further as the judge brings up children and the potential risks involved. He paints a serious picture of possible worst-case scenarios, explaining how these types of situations can sometimes lead to devastating consequences. This part becomes deeply serious and uncomfortable as the focus shifts from poor decisions to the possibility of real harm. The atmosphere in the courtroom grows heavier with every word, making it clear that the judge sees the situation as far more than just a simple mistake.
Give you credit for any time served.
Does that include her safety?
Did she successfully complete it?
It's my understanding.
Probation, did she successfully complete safety?
Yes, sir. And I believe DDRF. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll give you credit for safety because you successfully completed. And I'll give you credit for DDRF. Did she successfully complete DDRF?
Yes.
All right, now I'll give you credit for that. Did you review in each case the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, because this is not a plea bargain agreement, you do have a limited right to appeal. And that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on deferred adjudication. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You are an adult. If you want to do silly things and risk your life by moving in complete strangers in your house, you can do that. But the problem is when you have children, then children end up with complete strangers. And people will always tell me they will not allow drug addicts or whoever to babysit their children. That's what you do when you move a complete stranger, a grown man who doesn't have a job. Have some standards and don't go past those standards, and don't ever let complete strangers come and live in your apartment. You understand? All right, good luck to you, okay? And when you get out, if you still have issues and you want some help with drug treatment, you can always come back to court and I'll find a place for you.
Finally, the verdict is delivered, and it is harsher than expected. Instead of receiving a lighter sentence, the judge sentences her to 18 months in state jail. Even after making the decision, he continues to offer advice, emphasizing the importance of responsibility, better choices, and maintaining higher standards. The ending feels both firm and reflective, bringing the story to a close with a balance of consequences and the possibility of redemption. If you found this breakdown insightful, Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.